Look, bro, to be honest with you, I think 2026 moving forward, just the consumption of music is just, it's not gonna be the same. You know what I'm saying? Shit is just gonna roll out differently this time. So apparently it's been GG's for Polo G. Shit, let's get into it, my G. Brutally clown Polo G. GG's for Polo G for his album Flop. Okay, cool. What kind of flop are we talking about? Hello, you seen?
You ever seen somebody that's just, what's poppin', y'all? You ever seen somebody that's just minding their own business and then they just get a ton of strays thrown at them? Because that's exactly what happened to Polo G.
Yo, for real?
Now, I was just scrolling through Twitter the other day, and this all started with Polo G streaming and then getting, or having Plaqueboy Max not even take him seriously when he made some comments about,
damn, he made it to in the booth with Plaque,
potentially wanting to be a Clover boy, pull up to the streamer, not awards, a streamer university, which is supposed to be coming in February. Is that going to be, or was it? Yeah, it was February or March last year. Is that going to be happening? Is that going to be the comeback for Kai Snap? That would be a fire comeback. But I'm gonna play you guys that clip of Plaqueboy Max reacting to that situation.
Play it.
If they got another streamer university coming up, I'll probably come to that shit so I can get some game.
Get some game, okay.
Probably get.
What's wrong with that?
Probably hit up my boy Cassie if he could manage me. I could be like a clove.
Okay, nah, I feel like, bro, you can see from this nigga Polo, bro, like he probably trying to be funny, bro. What?
Nah, this nigga, bro, he's dead trolling. He's trolling.
He's trolling. He giving trolling, bro. I can feel it.
I ain't gonna lie. He trolling. He laughing. He's trolling. He's trapping. He literally started laughing.
All right.
He's trolling, man.
So he probably knows, the difference between Clover and AMP and all of that. But nah, I feel like he's giving the whole front, like he's not sure. Is it Clover? Is it AMP? Kai to manage me? Like, who the fuck is Kai managing, bro? Why would you say Kai to manage you? Like, or did I hear him right? Like, yeah, he's probably also fried out of his brains. So I mean, come on, man, you can't take it seriously. Let you, Polo be Polo, nigga.
Streamer U 2026. Y'all want to go to Streamer U? Should we apply? Be a professor or something? Oh. Ice Spice was spotted on Brooklyn Nets.
So here, Polo G was not clearly actually. He was joking around, but he's been friends with Kai Cenat, or at least on cordial terms for quite a while. He's collaborated.
Yeah, I remember this vlog. I remember this mukbang.
So like I said, he collaborated with people like Zeus in the past too. Well, this tweet really rubbed me the wrong way, partially because of the amount of engagement it got and positive engagement in terms of supporting it. Which there was this original tweet that said, "What's the biggest fall off ever?" And then this person quote tweeted it and said, "This MF Polo G dropped a 40-song album and absolutely no one was moved." Crying emoji. And it was Hood Poet Black Heart Edition. Now, Hood Poet was an album that was
40 songs for it to fall on deaf ears.
Dropped in 2024. Hood Poet Black Edition was
I ain't never heard of it. Damn. 2024, that's pretty recent too.
I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason why he was streaming, because he was dropping
rolling
the
it
deluxe for Hood Poet. So it's probably just a bunch of songs that didn't make it on the original album that dropped in 2024. Okay. Now the brutal part is not only the fact that this has 47,000 likes and almost 5 million views, but this person replied and said, "Grok, bring the disappointment and tell us how many first week sales this album has." And Grok really just put salt on the wound, saying Polo G's Hood Poet Black Heart Edition reportedly sold under 10K units in the first week, with projections in the 2 to 7K range. It misses the Billboard 200 entirely, the first of his projects not to chart. Oof. The fact that Grok had to
said oof. What the fuck is going on with these AI joints, brah? Motherfucker said oof. Hey, yo. No ways. What? Grok is AI is starting to get emotional about like what it sees, dog. That's crazy, dog. Y'all teaching AI the wrong shit, bro. Why would you say it's oof? This might be cool for some other artists. that ain't never reached a higher projection than this. Yeah, it's. I think I think Grok is going off of the fact that this nigga has reached higher projections, bro, than this.
Oof, that's just a little bit too brutal. And I responded and I said the following: I understand why rappers want to stream now. Imagine releasing 40 plus songs and tens of thousands of people are laughing without even listening to it.
Damn.
The effort it takes to make music isn't even appreciated anymore.
Yeah.
Number one, the fact that this sold with 40 tracks, it did less than 10K first week. That is dangerous. That is something that Polo G should be concerned about. Very, very concerned about. Now, the last time I remember a 40-track project being released was Heartbreak on a Full Moon by Chris Brown. And I remember people were clowning it, saying he quote-unquote only sold 100K because he had 40 tracks on it. And then one of the few people to...
Oh yeah, I get the whole situation now. Because if we're thinking about an artist like Chris Brown, bro. Okay, 100K is what? Okay, I don't even know like the status, whether it's gold or bronze or whatever. But yeah, I get the whole point, because let's say that whole 100K was done by Polo G. There was gonna be a different conversation around Polo G's name, right? Because Chris Brown has reached higher heights than that, right? So I feel like even AI is catching that, because it already has the information that this nigga probably has sold millions. Well, he has sold millions before. Now it coming down to 100K, it's like, yeah. And then obviously it's studying people clowning Chris Brown for getting 100K, understanding that this nigga's been praised for getting millions. So oof, nigga, yes, like it is bad. Whereas you put the same projections like for, I don't know, a random like Finesse 2 Time. You know what I'm saying? If Finesse 2 Time get 100K like that, like I'm Ack is signing him on the spot right then and there to the academy. Facts. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at this point, it is kind of they're comparing you to your previous works and shit like that.
Really come out and support the album, having not only bought it because he frequently buys his album, but listening to it, because a lot of people were just saying, I'm not listening to 40 tracks of Chris Brown. Yeah, me personally, I'm listening to 60 tracks of Chris Brown. Okay, you cannot.
Hell no. Listening to five back-to-back songs from your favorite artist is a dying art, bruh. It's dead. You best not give the people more than 7 tracks in 2026 moving forward, bruh. Or if you're gonna give people 40 tracks, make sure it's fucking a minute long ass tracks, nigga. Not nothing more than a minute 20 seconds a song. Facts.
Listen, you can choose not to listen to it. Maybe listen to somebody else. All right.
Yeah,
how about that?
Facts.
I was about to say maybe listen to Daniel Caesar, but that would be a good option
Who the
too.
fuck is that?
I can't hate on Daniel Caesar either. So that album ended up being great. It ended up streaming great. That's is it one of my favorite Chris Brown albums? I don't know. It's one of the albums that I go back to a lot of the music on. Now usually I'll listen to an album from top to bottom if I go back to it. For example, if I'm going back to Pablo, I'm probably running that top to bottom. It's a little bit difficult because I feel like Pablo's an encapsulation of all of the sounds of Ye pre-Pablo and whatever he was working on at the time. So there's a lack of cohesion in the sound of the project, which isn't a negative. It's just that it makes it less likely for me to listen to the whole thing top to bottom frequently, as opposed to a Yeezus or an 808s, which I can easily run top to bottom. But when it's 40 tracks, I'm not listening to 40 tracks 3 months, 6 months, 3 years after I've heard the project. But with Polo G, the reason why I kind of feel bad for artists about this is because think about as an artist, and we have to think about Polo G specifically, and I can't believe I'm defending Polo G when this guy's just, he hasn't been disrespectful to me, but he's just, the only time this guy's ever talked to me is based on some negative I had to say about him, which was a valid criticism, and not all the other times. But anyway, with Polo G, you guys got to remember when the Iced Coffee Hour podcast, Adam22 went on there, and he was talking about how No Jumper at the time was doing $1 million a month. This was between Snapchat, between Facebook, between YouTube. It was booming.
I'm getting this sort of energy where it's like you can never get through to artists these days, especially when you're trying to tell them like what I just expressed right now. It's like, bro, like what? You goofy? what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got time for that. Da da da. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am. Type. They got these egos, bro. And
at the time.
Yeah, I don't know if it
Polo G immediately after that, he posted, he's like, yo, we got to start getting paid to show up to these platforms. These guys are doing $1 million a month. I mean, that $1 million a month statement, it really caused a ripple, because
then, you know, create your own platform so that you can get $1 million a month without having to charge other niggas that worked hard to get their platform to where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And then you just want to come suck money out these niggas just to promote your own album. Number one, you here to promote your album, bruh. So I'm not entitled to just like giving you a whole bunch of money. You're already extracting value from you being here and promoting your album. You know what I'm saying? So it's like entitlement ends up coming out of places where it's not supposed to come from.
Because not only would No Jumper do a lot less, and this was strictly No Jumper, would do a lot less following that, Adam 22 would pull the whole, oh, we're broke, guys. We're going to get rid of this studio space. Not even studio space. Warehouse, which they still have the warehouse. I don't know what the deal with that is, but they were for sure making less money after when you made that video. Otherwise, they wouldn't have. But with even the disbelief in an academics, for instance, that was saying $1 million a month, like that's how you know Adam was killing it, because he was trying to academics, who is Adam 22's rival. It's funny when academics calls Adam 22 his mans. That is not your mans. Like, please stop capping. That's your coworker. Yeah, that's your peer. Man, honestly, he might even be, depending on how drunk he is, and if it's not on stream, he might feel insulted if you called Adam 22 his peer. But that is somebody in your field, right? Like an acquaintance. Let's call it what it is. But when he was trying to say like, nah, the half of that is from OF, right? So Polo G was seeing streamers or YouTubers, in this case Adam 22 and Vlad included, but they patched things up, making this much money, and he's like, yo, every time I leave the crib, for example, he had to go to New York, he caught a gun charge, which, what's up with that gun charge? I mean, we saw Lil Zay Osama beat a switch, which is crazy, but Polo G, I think they found a gun in his hotel, but he's always got to be concerned with his safety when going other places. He's like, I got to get security to show up, to get money for a show, which I know that show money cannot be hitting, especially with how this project came out, and no hits that came out of it, unfortunately. And then he starts talking about it like, yo, we got to start getting paid. It's a little bit of jealousy and envy, which is fine. There's always a grass is greener on the other side mentality. Every field thinks that the other person has benefits and it's nicer over there. But Polo G's mindset has clearly been on the side of, man, I work so hard to put this music together, and this is part of what I was getting at in my tweet, because let's just talk about the nightmare and hellish process it is to get 40 songs released as a Polo G, which is someone that already has a name. Keep in mind, even as a regular artist, making and putting out 40 songs is a lot, because you got to buy 40 beats off rip. You have to be good enough at music to put together.
Yeah, the cost before the whole product is even out is crazy.
40 songs, and that takes a long time to do. And then with Polo G, for instance, your team has to constantly negotiate on, yo, how much do you guys want for this beat, and then maybe sample clearances, and this is going back and forth because they're like, oh, Polo G wants the beat, it's not just a regular random rapper. Okay, oh, we're gonna see about that. So now they're doing
they're gonna bump the price they're gonna skyrocket that price because they know your Polo G pocket's deep, boy.
That whole discussion back and forth. And as a rapper or musician, all you really want to do is make the music and drop the music, and then there's all of these other complicated things,
and just eat the money. Oh my god,
that you have to go through in between, and the effort it takes to make.
Yo, do you think rappers is familiar with just like the concept of investment? You know what I'm saying? Long-term investment to a point. You know what I'm saying? To a point, you gotta understand putting your money in right now and not like, you know, getting the gratification immediately. Do you think they just like, because, you know, they're used to the whole concept of just like the advance, right? Being paid the whole advance up front. You know what I'm saying? To a point where when that advance is up, they just hit the studio demanding, or hit the management demanding more of the advance. It's like, what? No, that was the only advance, bro. You know, and off of that, that's why we working with you right now, so that we can get out, you know, the return on our investment, bro. Like, you know, and then it's always a situation where the next step is to hit social media talking about I've been done crazy, and, you know, my label hates me, and right, man, I feel like it's some sort of mental muscle that they need to develop in order to familiarize themselves with just how, you know, investment works.
40 final songs that you're comfortable with releasing on a project, and you're a Polo G, so Polo G's not just phoning it in, right? Like maybe he's punching in or whatever, but he's not. We don't know him to drop low effort music, like let's say Net Spend, for instance. And by low effort, you guys know what I mean. It's not hard to report. So you put all that together, and the person doesn't say it's whack. The person doesn't say, you know, I didn't really like this track, or, you know, like I think it went on for too long. It should have been 25 tracks max. No, none of that. You don't get criticism on it. You get criticized for, no, you get dismissed for it not being heard by the majority of people, and for the person that made the tweet to probably have not even bothered listening to it either, but he knew it dropped because he went and looked it up to make a tweet about it. And this is where I'm like, dog, I feel so bad for these artists, because I mean, making music is hard, and then you're getting paid pennies. Because let's take a look at for another clip, because Polo G's probably seeing this too. This dude Ronaldo, he was showing his income from streaming, and he made like 60K in a week or something like that, which is a lot less than he would have made in December, because there's budgets, marketing budgets. It's end of year. They want to spend their whole budget. So, and it's Q4. So like, Black Friday, all that other stuff, Christmas. So October, mainly November, December, they will spend a lot of money on ads. So people on Twitch will be eating. January, it's like, hey, everybody's just getting back into the office. We're going to figure out what's going to happen. Spending doesn't pick back up until maybe March to April or so. So Ronaldo's like, yo, I'm only making 60K this week. Meanwhile, in December, I was making 200K a week. So if I'm Polo G looking at that, it's like, this guy's making 200K or was making 200K a week, not having to leave his crib. Now, this Ronaldo guy puts a lot of effort into his content, I will say. Like, this he's doing the most. Well, not in terms of production cost, like a Mr. Beast, for example, or an Aiden Ross. We'll say production cost, because Aiden Ross, every time this guy's leaving, he's got a truck or a Sprinter van. He's got a private jet. He damn near has a chef on call. And he's got his security, so he's paying a lot of money every time he's moving around for every stream that he's doing. But most other streamers, it doesn't really cost that much. And then in one stream, let's say this guy for him to make 60K, let's say 10 bands, or a little bit under 10 bands per stream. Dog, to make 10 bands off of a song, you know how many times that thing has to stream? And then for it to be able to stream that much, do you know how much marketing you have to put behind the song for it to stream that much?
And so, that's only 10 bands. We're only talking about 10,000.
If you're a musician, you're looking at this like, damn. And this is Polo G, somebody that can continue to perform multiple hits that he's had, not at the same rate that he was getting at their peak, but there's always this pressure now of like, yo, when's your next hit, or when's your next song? And for the album to not even be like, it fell on deaf ears. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the only reason I heard about this album was because I thought to myself, yo, what's Polo G doing? And that's probably what this is.
Yo, what's Polo G doing? Yo, it's crazy that it takes your audience to just randomly wake up on a random, I don't know, weekday morning, maybe weekend morning, bored as shit, not knowing what to do, just beat your meat, and like, what the fuck can I do? Wait. Yo, what is Polo G doing? And that's your only form of just like, that's your lifeline into people keeping on, keeping your relevance in their playlist like going. That's crazy.
Individual thought to himself too. And I'm not saying like this person's wrong or anything. He's just doing his thing. But he does a good job in the replies of his tweet in terms of how it was received, showing the general sentiment around Polo G. Because this person was a fan, and he was like, yo, because somebody was saying like, yo, nobody's listening to Polo G. He's like, come on, you're talking.